Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Miss Nagis. Alhamdulillahirrahmanirrahim. Wabihi nasta'in wa ala umuri dunya waddin. Assalatu wassalamu ala asrofil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi washabihi ajmain amma ba'du. So now we are from group 5. We will presentation about language and language change. So before we start our presentation, maybe let me introduce our group. The first, there is Fauzan Rofiki as a second speaker, and then Edwina Septiani as a third speaker. And last, there is me, Anissa Holija, as a first speaker, and then also as a moderator. So maybe we don't take too long. We can start our presentation. Maybe next slide. So here there's the introduction. Language change refers to this process of changes in structure, sounds, vocabulary, and meaning of language over time. In the history of English, for example, change can be observed through printed documentation dating back to the 15th century when the pronunciation of words like need and knife still invoked the key sound, which was not silent as it is today. So language change is a natural process in which language develops and changes in various aspects, including structure, sound, vocabulary, and then there's meaning. Jadi perubahan language change atau perubahan bahasa itu adalah proses natural dari bahasa yang berubah dari berbagai aspek seperti sound, phonology, structure, there's vocabulary, and then meaning. Contohnya dari perubahan fonologi atau bunyi. Pada abad ke-15, kata seperti night dan knife diucapkan dengan bunyi K. Jadi knife, need diucapkan pada bunyi K sehingga terdengar seperti knit dan knife. Cuma untuk saat ini di beberapa negara atau sepertinya di Amerika K-nya itu tidak terdengar jadi knife dan alasannya adalah yang pertama dari perubahan budaya dan juga bisa jadi lebih gampang diucapkan. Oke, next slide. So here there's variation in change. Language change comes from exciting regional and social variations. In a monolingual community, although it seems that everyone speaks similarly, variation can be found in vocabulary, pronunciation, or speaking style. For example, words like mob, bus, and hotel pronunciation that were once considered non-standard have now become part of the standard dialect. Language change process always start from exciting variations. In phonology, for example, change occurs when one sound replaces another or when a sound disappears. So language variation refers to differences in the way people speak within a language community. These differences can come from regional, it means like different dialects based on geographical location, and then there is social, it means like variation that arise from differences in social status, age, gender, or cultural group. Jadi perubahan bahasa tidak terjadi secara tiba-tiba, sedangkan perubahan bahasa selalu dimulai dari variasi yang ada. Jadi variasi adalah fondasi utama perubahan bahasa karena bentuk-bentuk baru biasanya muncul dari perbedaan dalam pengucapan, kosakata, dan juga arti kata tersebut. Contoh variasi yang menjadi perubahan standar dari kosakata adalah seperti ini, seperti dalam kata masa, bus, dan juga hotel. Dahulu kata ini tuh dianggap tidak standar, tapi seiring berjalannya waktu kata-kata ini termasuk dalam kata-kata yang standar. And then next slide. So here there's post-vocalic R, its period and its status. Post-vocalic R refers to the pronunciation of the R sound after a vowel in words like star or star. In many areas of England and Wales, this pronunciation has been lost, especially in accent such as recite, pronunciation, and the London Cockney dialect. The loss of post-vocalic R is thought to have begun in the 17th century in Southeast England and continued to spread, although it is still used consistently in areas of Southwest England, Scotland, and Ireland. In the UK, the accent without the post-vocalic R is a prestigious form that continues to spread, whereas in some parts of the United States, the rhotic accent is on the rise. The pronunciation is even used in a formal situation by almost all New York speakers, and it's consistently found in a casual conversation among upper middle class young people. So post-vocalic R is the pronunciation of the R sound after a vowel words like star, car, or star. In sociolinguistic, this change in sound pronunciation reflects social and regional shifts in language use. Jadi hilangnya bunyi post-vocalic R ini pertama kali diidentifikasikan ini di bagian Tenggara Inggris pada abad ke-17. Dialek seperti RP atau Recite Pronunciation and Cockney adalah contoh utama di mana bunyi R tidak lagi diucapkan. Contohnya dalam pengucapan seperti star jadi star, car jadi car, water jadi water. Nah, sementara aksen di bagian Tenggara Inggris kehilangan papan R. Akan tetapi daerah lain seperti Barat Daya Inggris, Skotlandia, dan Irlandia tetap mempertahankan pelafalan ini. Jadi mereka menciptakan perbedaan dialek yang signifikan. Nah, dari post-vocalic R, dialek ini, aksen yang tetap menggunakan post-vocalic R atau R yang masih diucapkan itu disebut dengan aksen rhotic. Sedangkan sebaliknya yang tidak menggunakan post-vocalic R atau yang sudah menghilangkan R-nya itu disebut dengan non-rhotic. Non-rhotic ini rata-rata dari orang-orang Inggris. Nah, sedangkan di Amerika malah sebaliknya, di Amerika itu kebanyakan banyak aksen yang menggunakan rhotic yang masih menggunakan post-vocalic R ini. Nah, next slide. So maybe next slide will be presented by Fauzan Rofiki. The time is yours.
Okay, thank you for Anissa Ija. Okay, next slide. The spirit of vernacular forms. The spirit of vernacular forms describes the spirit of non-standard language feature that often reflects social and local identity. For example, our Martha Vineyard, the pronunciation of the central vowel in the word like light and the house was revitalized by local fishermen and to assert their identity as natives. Is kind of change often occur below the level of consciousness change of the below. But in some cases, such as in the printing in the British English, change takes place consciously because it is associated with a certain social status. Okay, for this spread vernacular, jadi penyebaran bahasa ataupun penyebaran pada bahasa vernacular ini yang dimana kita lihat di sini itu menyatakan bahwasanya dia adalah seorang warga asli ataupun penduduk asli dari situ, local identity. Ya, itu mencantumkan kalau dia warga asli itu seperti di dalam eksempel di sini adalah Martha Vineyard yang dimana like a vowel with words like and house. Dari sini kalau misalkan kita lihat kalau light and house ini adalah sesuatu yang digunakan, yang sesuatu yang digunakan or use the fisherman, the local fisherman. That is it's mean the kata itu ya words itu adalah menandakan kalau misalkan kata yang digunakan itu adalah kata yang digunakan untuk nelayan asli situ. Jadinya kata yang tersebut adalah penyebaran dari komunitas tanpa sadar ya, tanpa sadar. Sebenarnya kalau misalkan kita pakai logika, kita sadar itulah sesuatu yang sadar ya. Itu logika yang sadar karena di situ tercantum di berbagai tercantum ataupun digunakan di suatu status sosial ataupun community di situ ya. Jadi kata light and house itu adalah penentu ataupun menjadi kata yang digunakan untuk nelayan lokal asli situ. Oke, next slide, maybe. Next slide, please. Okay, canons and connotations. How new language emerges as a result of connect between people who speak different language. Something similar often happen when people who speak different this like chance processes, collect pronunciation, and the result is a count, a variety which is the result of the dialect content. Yeah, or the counts and pronunciation. Like we know the words or the sentence like I don't know is changed to I don't know. Yeah, it is make to simplicity or simple to use the sentence I don't know. This difficult to speak as and it changes to I don't know. There is a process. Maybe there is a step by step how to make the I don't know to I don't know. Jadi, kalau misalkan proses, there is a code, a connotation, and the result of the news dialect which to speak the other. There is a code. There is we can code is cone. Jadi kalau misalkan ibaratkan begini, kalau misalkan kata I don't know diubah menjadi kata I don't know, bagaimana kok bisa seperti itu? Nah, itu mempunyai step-step ataupun mempunyai proses dalam menjadikan I don't know menjadi I don't know, ya kan? Jadi di proses itu dinamakan conversation, ya. Biar apa? Mungkin biar mudah untuk kita mengucapkan ataupun bisa menjadi simple, tidak usah beribet-ibet kayak I don't know jadi I don't know atau dipercepat dalam pengucapannya disebut uh, conversation ya, conversation. Kalau misalkan kone itu yang sudah dihasilkan kayak I don't know dari kind of jadi kanda, ya, itu hasil dari uh, hasil dari new language yang diciptakan oleh orang luar sana seperti itu. Okay, next slide, man. Okay. Yeah. Okay. From group to groups, any particular change typically spread and simultaneously in different directions, took no necessarily at the same rate in the all directions. Social factors such as age, status, gender, and region affect the rates of change and the direction of which the waves will most swiftly. The wave metaphor is one useful way of visualizing and a spread of the change from the one group to another. Okay, what if how to spread the new language like from group to group, like the correlation of creolization. Creolization is there is there is a word or sentence from the community. This community if speak up every they speak to the another like ya, seperti kalau misalkan kita dalam community itu kan ada kreo yang dihasilkan dari suatu community dari suatu community terus dia berkembang ya, so ini akan menyebar ya, akan menyebar menjadi keseluruhan, menyebar dan dia akan menyebar di community lagi, dari community ke community lagi ataupun dari satu community dia akan menghasilkan one individuals to share or to speak to another community or another groups. Jadi bagaimana penyebaran itu terjadi? Penyebaran itu terjadi karena kan dari satu community tersebut ada salah satu orang yang dia punya grup lagi dan dia menyebar speak yang dia hasilkan dari community itu ke community yang lain. Nah, ini bisa berpengaruh dari age, status, gender, and region effect ya. Dari umur, status juga, dan juga gendernya ya. Dari situ juga. Jadi cari bagaimana penyebaran bahasa yang baru gitu kan di Indonesia seperti kayak misalkan bejir lah, terus kayak anjir lah, itu kata-kata yang baru di dalam bahasa Indonesia ya, tapi tidak ada di dalam kamus bahasa Indonesia. Nah, itu baru diciptakan oleh satu community ataupun satu orang. Nah, satu orang ini mengucapkan ke lain orang, dan satu orang ini memberikan speak-nya ataupun share-nya kepada community-nya, sehingga dia akan menghasilkan group or from group to group. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, from style to style, one theory suggests the linguistic spread systematically, moving from one style to another, from one individual to another within a social group, and then from one social group to another. This model can be visualized as a wave starting with the most formal style of the highest status group and spreading downwards for the style of from style to style. Maybe there is one theory. If we like adult, we like the adult to the older age from me, yeah, from the adult. We have to speak formal, and we speak to adult. Yeah, Sam. So we speak to enjoy speaking, to enjoy those those words, yeah. No formal. There is time of formal and there is time downwards, ya. Jadi kalau misalkan style itu, jadi kita bisa menyesuaikan, ya. We adapt the style from the how to speak the older age from us, or the same age from us, or the younger from us. Jadi ada style-style yang kalau misalkan kita berbicara kepada orang yang lebih tua dari kita harus menggunakan formal, ataupun dalam kita meeting, ya, meeting ataupun kita ada acara di kerjaan kita, we have to speak by formal style. Jadi ada juga yang menggunakan formal style seperti kita meeting ataupun kita ada acara pekerjaan. Dan dari situ dari bahasa-bahasa gaul yang setelah kita yang kayak adul ya, zaman sekarang kan banyak sekali bahasa-bahasa baru. Nah, dari situ bakal menyebar dari style yang mungkin dari formal menjadi tidak formal, ya kan. Nah, style itu kan mengikuti sampai perkembangan zaman, gitu kan. Jadi bisa menyebar luas dari style tersebut, yaitu dari formal menjadi tidak formal. Oke, next slide. Okay, so enough for me, for my explanations. I give back to Anissa Enya. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Rojan, for your explanation. And maybe the next material will be presented by Evina Septiani. The time is yours.
So thank you, Anissa. The first is somewhat towards lexical diffusion. Sound names often spread self-defined words one by one, a process known as lexical diffusion. This means that not or words with the particular vowel change upon. Instead, the change appear first in the word, then in another, and so on. It seems to be the case that sound change not only spread from one person to another and from one style to another style. They also spread from one word to another. Sound can typically spread from different words one by one. This is called lexical diffusion. When the sound change begins, all the words with a particular vowel then change as once in the speech of uh, communication. And the next is how do we study language change? Sociolinguistics use various methods to study language change, including the apprentine method, which contains the six of different art groups to identify change in the progress. Okay, first there is apprentine method. This method assumes the difference between the speech of older and younger people that change in progress. Younger speakers tend to use more of the newer of innovative form, while older speakers use more of the older conservative form. And the second one is real-time studies. Real-time studies include comparing samples from the same community at different points in time, allowing researchers to observe change directly. And the third is challenges. Identifying change as residue from can be challenging. Identifying change improves residues from the can be challenging as the normal spreading pattern from funicular form includes higher use by younger people. So I think enough from me. I give it back to Anissa. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Evina, for your explanation. Sorry, ini conclusion. Can you share screen again? The conclusion. Conclusion. Okay. So maybe until here, maybe I will read the conclusion. So the conclusion is I'm sorry, this is wrong. Maybe I just read the conclusion in my phone. So language change is a natural process in which language develops and changes in various aspects, including structure, sound, vocabulary, and meaning. And then there's aspect like how do we study language change and the others. So maybe that's all from us. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.